Okay, so one thing I want to talk about is, so these are the colored pencils you're going to be using. I have other ones too. I believe that there's some over in the other classroom. You're basically going to focus on using one color, the color of the Christmas ball that you're going to be doing, and using the black, white, and the gray, possibly the silver one. I really need to stress, these art materials are not toys. They're not junk items that you can toss around. They are tools that we use. So please, please take care of them, because otherwise we won't have tools to use in art class or, any elsewhere. If you want to come after school and do something for a project or something, we're more than happy to help you out, but I really do need you to take care of the tools. So these are the ones you're going to be using. You're going to be focusing on, you'll see in the video, the one color, and then the white and black and the gray, okay? Okay, so I'm going to do a quick demonstration of the color value assignment we're going to be doing. So we're going to be using shading and value. Value is the element of art, with color. This is what I'm going to be drawing. You guys will have this as well. Okay, so first thing, like always, you're going to start with a gesture drawing. I have all the overhead lights on, so the shadows are not as great as I'd like them to be, just for the sake of clarity. Please note, I'm not doing this. Keeping my wrist still, doing the light circles and then I got this. And then on the top here, there's that seam. I don't know, you can't see it, but there's the seam, and then this sort of comes down. All right, so I have my gesture drawing in. Very, very light, nice and light. That's where we're going. Okay, you are going to be using color. So what you're going to need is, I'm going to take the gray. I'm going to take a gray as well. And I'm going to try to find a black one, which it looks like this one doesn't. Oh, here we go. I'm actually not going to be using the white, except for possibly blending. Keep in mind, you do not put colored pencils into the regular sharpener. You have to use the hand sharpener for them. So there should be one or two on a table. The colored pencils are very waxy, depending on the quality of the pencils and all that, depending on the level of, how much wax is in there and the type of wax and stuff. It will jam up an automatic pencil sharpener, so don't ever do that. Okay, so I'm going to start focusing on the red one here. And where I'm looking on this side here is actually quite dark. It's actually quite dark here. And then there's a cast shadow. That is the shadow that an object casts. I'm kind of hoping I'll be able to draw at least one of these. To create value with color, a lot of people will say, like if I'm going to be making a monochromatic something, that's a one color, our next unit is going to be in color. Monochromatic doesn't mean like it's orange, yellow, orange, and then, a red, orange. That's not monochromatic. Monochromatic would be orange, dark orange, and light orange, to which you use to do, you're using with. These are not, these are decent. Our colored pencils are decent. They're not great, but you can get a lot of layering and a lot of blending with them. It's really dark over here, so I'm going to add a little more pencil pressure here. I'm gonna layer some of the black in because I'm trying to get that just a tiny little bit. This set has a gray, so I am going to use some gray in here. It's a dark gray. It's not a great gray. Lots of times when I do this, I'll start with just putting down the value first with gray or black, and then layering the color on top. So I'm going to kind of do that now. Notice it's not really, Some gray over here. And then right in the middle here, I can see this particular Christmas bulb is, or Christmas ornament, it's kind of sparkly. So that's sort of throwing off the value a little bit, but that's okay. So I put that in there. Like I said, I'm hoping to sort of speed this up a little bit. I'll speed up the video so you don't have to watch the whole thing, but I would like to finish at least one of these so you can see. There's a big light area in here, so I'm really not going to do anything with that right now. So I could probably smudge around with this a little bit more. And what I did, this is actually called burnishing, where I'm kind of going over with the lighter color or even the darker color, depending on what I want to burnish. Nice and heavy and dark with a really, these are not great pencils to do that. They're student grade pencils, but you know, wanted to at least show you. We are going to be doing some more colored pencil stuff in the future as we move in farther into the year, but for right now, I want you to note that on each one, I just used one color. I wasn't switching between blues. There's like 2 or 3 different blues in this package, but I wasn't doing that. I was sticking with the one color and then layering on that this is dark gray. There is a silver gray, which I don't know that this would work really well. Yeah, this is more silvery than gray, so it's not, well, maybe. When you do this, you're really just I do want you to use the color of the Christmas ball that it is, and it's probably gonna be blue, green, or I think there is a silver one, maybe use the silver. So you're just gonna be using the one color plus the black, the white, and the gray to add those different values, okay? Obviously, some of them have like the little gold thing that you put the hook in. Some of them do not. That's how that happened. And one thing you probably didn't notice is I didn't sharpen my pencil at all. That's kind of a mistake, but I didn't have a sharpener here with me. But you are gonna probably have to sharpen your colored pencils a couple of times while you're doing this. One of the things that I really want to stress is you cannot overwork something enough. I would rather have you overwork something, you're like, yeah, went too far, than underwork. I tend to always get underworked stuff. Overworking that's totally fine because you're learning. And now I have all of the overhead lights on, so the shadows and stuff like that they're going to be different on each one. They're not going to be exactly the same. The next thing I think we're going to do in this value, we're going to do a couple more things in this value unit. We're going to be working with white pencil on or white chalk on the black paper. And then we will also start working with a little bit of watercolor, go over some watercolor techniques. Okay. Oh, this, again, I know I talked about that. These are cast shadows. Because I have multiple overhead lights on, there's actually like another one even lighter here. You're going to have multiple cast shadows because there's multiple lights happening on those. So you're going to end up with something in colored value. In those lights and darks, you're using the one color, the black, the white, probably the gray pencil. All right?